been in the stadium, run around this field in a while. So just to even be out here and walk through the locker rooms and the tunnels and all that, man, it was amazing.
What was your reaction when the XFL reached out?
Another opportunity. I mean, I'm so thankful and blessed. I continue to get opportunities, and I want to just make the most of them.
And you've gotten, you were in the AAF.
Yes.
You know, of course, you've gotten some, the NFL has taken a look at kind of what are your takeaways from not only the NFL but just your AAF experience?
Well, I mean, I'm excited and thankful for some of the guys that had opportunities outside the AAF to go to the NFL. That's what that league was, supposed to be all about. And regardless of logistical ways and whys of why it didn't work out or did not, you got guys who have more opportunities because of it. So that's a blessing. That's really cool in itself. And even with this league, I don't know what's to come of it, but I'm excited to be a part of it and have this opportunity. So, hopefully not only just myself, but there's other guys in this field today that possibly have opportunities to move on to the next level as well.
What are you hoping comes of it? Are you hoping one day to crack, break into the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working hard. Just trying to make sure that opportunity that's placed in front of me now, I solidify that. Not looking too far down the head, head down the road. But today was very important for me to just have a good showing and show that I can still throw the ball and run around and play football. So I'm very thankful for what I did today.
Yeah, one interesting kind of rule with the XFL is that you can throw kind of multiple passes as long as they're behind the line of scrimmage, right?
Okay.
But and you've played some quarterbacks, some wide receiver. I mean, it seems like a role that you could really help offenses exploit.
I mean, from a mobile quarterback standpoint, it feels like it might be a good idea, a good plan. Right now I'm focusing only on quarterback. That's what I want to do. That's why I came here. So whatever opportunities come from that on the offensive schemes or plays, I'm just going to make the most of that opportunity.
But it seems like something where you could have like two quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
It's possible.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the OC, but it's possible.
What would it mean to you to get drafted to the Tampa team and get to play on the same field that you played your whole college career?
I mean, it'd be amazing. I had an opportunity to come to Tampa as a young kid and grow here. Grow up into a young man and develop. And actually, this was the university that gave me the opportunity to play football in the first place. So to come back to this community, to be around the same fans and same friends and family, that'd be amazing. I have family and people that haven't had the opportunity to see me play professional sports before, being that I've been in Seattle and San Francisco. So the travel has been, pretty taxing. But if I can just be here in Tampa and people can just hop in the car and drive a couple hours to come see me, that'd be great.
Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Trestman and let him know how much you'd love to play for him?
I've been rubbing elbows with him, so we'll see. We'll see.
How has your past experience with the NFL and the AAF kind of prepared you for this next step of your playing career?
I think it's prepared me a lot. I guess the fortunate thing about being on multiple teams, being around the Super Bowl teams and Russell Wilson, Marshawn, Matt Ryan, just to name those guys, man, I've learned so much from them and being in those positions to where I'm in the meeting room watching film with them, learning from them, getting ready for the highest stage and the highest level. I think that's really helped me prepare for anything in life. Winning the Super Bowl is a great thing. Losing is something you got to deal with. So the highs and the lows, the ups and downs. So I think it's all helped in the grand scheme of things.
You've ultimately had a really crazy year. I mean, to be going in a league, you're in a practice, mid-practice, you're done. And all of a sudden, the league folds.
Right.
And now you're in a new upstart league. What feels different about this start to a league, than the AAF that you just came out?
Well, to start off, I mean, you have great ownership, in Vince McMahon. So, I mean, he's a guy who everyone knows, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, everyone knows who that guy is. And, what he's invested into this league and the opportunity he's trying to give, guys out here on this field. So, I mean, it just feels good. I mean, today you can see all the excitement, guys, jumping up and down, the excitement. Even though it's hot, they're still running around doing some good things.
Yeah, can you talk about the combine here? Like, is there any ones that you kind of stood out, or how about in your game that you feel like you need to improve?
Anyone that stood out?
There, or even talking about yourself as specific skill set that you want to work on.
Well, I mean, it was kind of cool to see a lot of the players that I played against in high school, played against in college, played with at USF. So seeing those guys and seeing them run around and how they've matured from, a couple years ago to now is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
you've coached in a variety of different types of leagues at this point. How does the XFL differ from the other ones?
Well, I think the XFL is very similar to the CFL. It's just flipped over time of the year. I mean, the players that we're going to be coaching here are very similar to the ones in the CFL. They're going to be hardworking, they're humble, they're going to be hungry to play. They've persevered throughout their careers. They've been resilient, and that's the beauty of the league. When you watch the AAF tape, you see those kind of guys. A lot of them were out here today, and they want an opportunity to continue playing the game that they love. And they showed up here with an opportunity, and we feel blessed just to have the chance to coach them, because we know they love football as much as we do as coaches, and that makes a lot of fun. That's the kind of league it's going to be.
Mark, we just talked to Ryan Mallet, and he's a guy you know well. Yeah. I just want to ask you what he can bring and what it means to get somebody who still has the hunger he has at his age.
Yeah, Ryan's been through a lot. He's had adversity, and he'll own the mistakes that he's made in his career, which is what one of the things I really like about him. I had a chance to coach him in Baltimore, and I found him to be a very engaging, competitive team guy, respected everybody in the organization, and was reliable. And throughout his career, he's had moments of unreliability, that's hurt himself. And, guys are allowed in their journey to be transformed. And, I tell quarterbacks all the time is that everyone's journey is different. I mean, Steve Young didn't play till he was 29, and Rich Gannon was 34 and was MVP, and Josh McCown was 35, and all of a sudden he was getting free agent offers, so every journey is different. Ryan's at an age right now where he knows he's capable of playing at the next level, and he needs an opportunity to put some games on tape, and this might be the place for him. The league might be the place for him. I can't say this will be the place. Right. I don't want to put our team in that position, obviously. Right. But he showed himself that he would be, certainly a guy that is going to be, a part of decision making as the weeks go on.
Coach, PJ Daniels is a local player here. He's trying out, for the quarterback position. And I was just looking up both timelines. I don't think he ever played for you, but have you been able to see him play?
My experience with him is non-existent, but it started last week. I was talking to a former player of mine, Scott Mitchell, I've coached in Detroit, and he watched him with Salt Lake, and he said he was the best guy there. And then I called my friends in Seattle this past week, and they really liked him in Seattle. And so that was a good start. He's a great human being. Players love him. He had a great day out here today. Watch him throw. I mean, he made all the throws through the deep ball. You can see he's a team guy, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him, as we proceed on in the process.
For players who tried out today, I was talking to Oliver Luck about this a little earlier, just because it's a new system, we're going to make sure we get it down. Some are going to be drafted, some get signed, correct? What are most of the players here? What are their future, I guess? With the
I think that the future, as I know it, and we're still in the garage stage of this thing, is that players we want in the league will be signed by the league and go into a pool. And that pool will be a draft that will take place in October. As we move on, the pool will increase, because when the NFL makes its cuts, there'll be players coming out that'll make a decision. Are they going to go on practice squad, or they're not available to go on practice squad, and then they can go into the pool. But everybody goes into the pool for the draft. They have to be signed before they go in the pool. And I hope I'm close to being right there. And then October, there'll be a draft.
Coach, can you talk about what you saw? You have an eye for talent. You're from the former NFL. Is there anything that kind of stood out today?
Yeah, I think it was the humility of the players, the appreciation for the opportunity to be out here, and we appreciate them coming out. There's guys who played in the AAF that are on tape that were really good players out here today, and they did not have to come out here and work out, and that's impressive. They wanted to make sure that everybody got a look at them, and they didn't have to be out here. And talking to the coaches that I know that they played for, they're special guys, and they're guys that are this close to being NFL type players and could be in the NFL. So I appreciated those. That's where I think we were today. Just a bunch of guys, hungry guys who love football, coaches and players alike, that want to try to do their best to give each other an opportunity to grow in whatever position or role they have in the XFL.
And what can the Tampa Bay players expect from the Trestman style coaching?
Well, I think that culture is number one. Is building a locker room where people respect each other, are humble, and that they don't make it about themselves. We don't want a locker room with a bunch of high maintenance people that take our focus away from what we need to do, and that's win games on game day. So everybody has a role, and nobody's role is more important than anybody else's. And the man or woman who cleans our bathrooms in our locker room, they rate as high on the hierarchy as our quarterback does, or our president, because everybody matters. And I think if you have that kind of respect for each other and hold everybody in high regard, and you stay humble and you don't make it about yourself, you got a chance to win on game day if your quarterback can play highly efficient football.
The forward pass rule is kind of a really interesting tweak, that you can possibly throw multiple times.
Yeah, I don't know how that much will happen. I think it'll be a special play-oriented thing. I don't think we're going to be sitting in our offices. I won't be, trying to find a way to use the double pass, but we'll have something involved in our system of football, and maybe it'll grow. Yeah. But because it's new, a lot of us, haven't done a lot or any of it, so we'll experiment with it and give it a try, and if we like it, it could grow into being something more than, one play a week or something like that.
I mean, in theory, you might be able to have two quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
I don't want to go to the rules.
One even as a decoy even.
Yeah, I don't know that. I haven't thought through it, because it's not highest on the hit parade right now, but it's certainly something when we get into. We haven't even finalized the rules, Tom, as you well know. So when we get to that, we'll talk about it. I'm sure there'll be somebody on the staff coming in the morning going, I got 3 or 4 really great ideas, and we'll start there. Probably won't be me, I can tell you.
With all that potential innovation and as far as offensive and defense, all the rules and things like that, how excited are you from a creativity standpoint as far as doing new things on the field?
Well, I think number one is I don't think the game's going to look any different than it does basically in the NFL. And I think Oliver is really cognizant of that. What's going to be different is it's going to be a faster game like it is in the CFL, because we're going to be on a faster clock. So we're going to have to work faster, and I think that's going to be engaging to the fan. I know it is in the CFL. The CFL is a great game. Part of it is because of the speed of the game. It goes fast. And with that, the creativity will come. How can we engage the defense and still get the play off and communicate it? So it's going to advance football. I think it's going to be exciting. The kickoff will be exciting. If we get to overtimes, it'll be exciting. The extra point will be exciting because there's no extra point, and there'll be more analytics involved because 1 point will be from the 2 and 2 point will be from the 5, and so we got to get a hold of analytics guys to figure out when we should go for 1 or 2. So that'll be interesting. We'll have to be more efficient, in the red zone. That I think will be exciting. If they get to the halo, it's going to allow for a return. I think that'll be big. And then getting to if we do have ties, I think it's too many hours in the heat here. But the overtime stuff, should be interesting because of the exciting, because it's going to flip flop on the field and keep it moving the way they're doing it. So I think they've been meticulous in coming up with creative things. Number one is the clock. That's going to allow for faster football, but not when the fan's eye sees the game. I think they're going to see a game that they're used to seeing the week earlier, and I think the nuances will be exciting because they've been well thought out by the league.
And with all those things that with your experience and with it being a new league, have they been asking you kind of like input of things, the way to make things better on the field, off the field, things like that?
Oliver Luck is unbelievably inclusive. We got a great group of experienced head coaches, and I think what we've done is they've really methodically asked the right questions. They're giving us time not only to give 8 answers, but 8 times 15, because there's 15 guys, people on the staff. So now you got 90 people inputting, with each key decision, and it's amazing the different ways people see things. And then ultimately the league and Oliver have to make those decisions. So I think they're going about it in the right way, because when the Super Bowl's over and we start, you turn on the TV, your eyes are gonna. We want the eyes of the fan not to be so distorted that they don't want to continue to pay attention. I think Oliver's really, really on top of that and making sure we have a league that respects the game as fans in the NFL and football fans everywhere know it, and I think they'll see that.
Last one, a new one.
You spent some time in
You spent some time in Tampa in your career. What is it about like Tampa or the Tampa Bay area that makes you think that they'll embrace an XFL team, that they'll really buy into it?
I think that's a great question. I think one of the things is the type of players that we have, their stories are very engaging. So as in my first press conference, I said, one of our purposes here is to engage the community, is to be able to allow people in our community to come to a game with their family and enjoy the game and be affordable and not take somebody's paycheck away from them. That's number one. And I think if they come here and they see efficient football and they get to know our players and their personalities and their stories, I think that could be very engaging to the fans. I really do. Just coming from the CFL and knowing the stories of our players and how engaging and relatable that is, because our players, if they play in our league, aren't retiring to the golf course. They're not living the rest of their life retired. They're going to have to go out into a community, and if they can engage, if we can help them and lead them in the right direction in our community, and they can brand themselves through you guys, and because their stories are really fascinating, I think it will help grow our brand.
What made you choose Tampa?
December to April. I like Florida. I started my coaching career here. I took the bar right down the block. We're gonna go to breakfast. We're gonna have classroom, and we're going out to recess in this from December to April. You can't beat that. And we'll have a lot of guys in the pool from this area. It's not a geographic pool, as you guys know, but there's a lot of good football players that'll be in the pool. That when we've got them stacked up, they're gonna be primed in our minds, because we want them to be at home. We want their families to see them play if we can, and that's we don't know that. We're going to take the best players available, but a lot of those best guys are going to be from anywhere from Pensacola all the way down to Miami. We know that, so we hope to get some of them.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. They need feeling today?
Feeling good. Yeah? Feeling great.
What do you think
about how this all came to be? How the XFL reached out to you?
Just through my agent, him reaching out, and they shot me an invite to come out here and compete with these guys. Like I said, I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I'm glad to have it.
And what was it like out here today for you? Was it kind of what you expected? What surprised you?
Today was great for me to get back in the rhythm. I don't think I lost a step. I think I gained a step. Competitive, man. It was competitive today. It was hot. Nobody complained. We was out here just giving our all, and I appreciate XFL for this opportunity, giving me the opportunity to be back out here. Like I said, I feel great.
How much more real does it feel to be in an NFL, to be in a stadium that this team will be playing in, with the signage all around you, guys wearing the shirts?
Man, I miss it, man. Like I say, I've been not around for a year. Just been training, man. To be back out here, like, it's a great opportunity for me to give me, definitely my hunger back even more, that on this field, that I want to be a part of a team.
How much more would it mean to be here, to be in Tampa, getting to play home?
Oh, to be right here at home would be awesome, man. My kids right here, my whole family is right here, that we can, drive to the games, and they can, be right here watching me play in Tampa Stadium.
Physically, you feel good in terms of where you are?
Oh, I feel great. Like I said, man, I feel like a step ahead of my game. Like, when I came out here today, I feel like I proved that, and I had fun competing with these guys, and nobody was a pushover out here, man. We all did great effort. So
you've gotten a taste of both the NFL, obviously, and the AAF, right? What's that?
Not the
So kind of what's your takeaways from your NFL experience? How is that helping you out here today?
That I was playing at a high speed, so I feel like I can take my game anywhere. NFL is very high speed. I feel like I hit with high speed too. I use that ability that I've been learning from a lot of my running back coaches throughout my career in NFL. I'm just ready to resume again, man, and get back my motor going.
What can you say about the XFL that they're giving players, whether regardless of former NFL players? What can you say about this new league and your experience, what you see so far?
I feel like it's a great opportunity for the people that haven't been around football or the people who just got out of football. I just feel like it's a great opportunity for everybody collectively to get together and get a team going and get a union going to give everybody the opportunity to get back going what they're doing. Because I feel like it's a lot of talent still out there elsewhere and all around the U.S. So I feel like it's a great opportunity for everybody. Like I said again, I'm thankful for the opportunity.
If you get drafted here in Tampa Bay, you said your hometown, what can you say to the fans?
Oh, that I'll be ready. Like I said, I feel like I'm a step ahead of my game, and I'm gonna be ready. I'm ready to put on the showcase here or anywhere else I go.
So what are you hoping comes from all this? The XFL, are you hoping maybe you get back to the NFL one day? What are you hoping happens?
Oh, most definitely. That's the ultimate goal, is to get back to where I started. But if I take some tuning up my game to get some more film, that so be it. But right now, like, I've been grinding ever since I got out of the NFL, and I'm going to be grinding ever since, till I get back, and even more. I just want to be a greater player, an even better player. Like I said, I feel good, and if it takes to be out here with these guys and giving my team effort, I'm all for it. But as far as getting in the NFL, I'm all for that too.
Great, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
There's a lot of different rules that the NFL doesn't allow you to do certain things. It's really going to favor some playmakers like yourself. Are you excited to test them out?
Oh, my energy is, I'm ready. Like today, catching a couple balls, letting the energy go. Not really so worried about the rules, but, the energy takes over me sometimes. So, like I said, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to let it all out when I get a chance to.
These double forward passes that you've been throwing, are you ready for that?
I'm ready for it, man. Like I said, I got to get some little tuning up, but I'll be ready for a double pass come here in the season.
Playing against, once again, the only team here in the XFL.
I'm from Arkansas.
Or played Florida.
I played against Florida.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you feel about the fans here in Florida and having the XFL team?
Oh, South Florida has some of the best fans, around the country. Especially, we're going to get this thing started. Hopefully, I can get into it and be a part of it. I think it's going to be big. We just got to get going. I think guys are just ready to compete and play ball.
Having been in multiple places and NFL stops and working with the Patriots, things like that, how do you think that kind of experience has prepared you for not only your career, but even like helping out the younger guys in locker room on the team that you get?
Oh, I just say taking things from the place I've been was learning how to win. I've been on a lot of teams that were really good. I'm not saying that I was, because the reason, obviously 12 is up there in New England and all that, but I learned a lot about how to win, how to do it the right way, and now it's just time to put that on the big stage.
Absolutely.
Ryan, just talk about coming out here and just what this means for you as the step to getting back to things and what it can be for you.
For me, it means a lot. I almost hung them up, and then I just looked down, deep down inside of me, and I wasn't ready to hang them up yet. I got a lot of ball left in me.
How close were you? Was there a time where you thought of this in the past tense, or has this always still been something not long enough to write anything off?
The what?
In terms of how seriously you thought about being done.
Man, I was pretty close. And then I watched the Super Bowl, and I was like, I ain't done.
Last fall, the closest you got was just kind of talking with the Redskins, I guess?
Yeah, I had to work out up there.
Yeah. Hard to have a fall away from football? What was that like for you?
I watched every game that was on TV, so I saw every game, like I was watching film, but hey, it's hard not being in the locker room with the guys and in the meeting room with the other quarterbacks, talking to the coaches. That's probably the hardest part, and that's the part I missed the most. That's another reason I wanted to get back and get going.
How do you match you've been at a higher level than this for a long time. How do you match the hunger of these young guys that are trying to get on the way up?
They need to match mine.
Yeah.
Real talk. Yeah. That's all I got.
Why Florida? Was this just the one that was the best match for you in terms of where to showcase yourself?
Look at the weather, like Arkansas is not quite this pretty. No, it's there's a few different reasons. I know Coach Trestman, I played for him before, and I just felt more comfortable coming where he was at and coming through this there. I think I could still do another one if I need to. I'm not sure exactly, but we'll see.
But this, for you see this as something that is a good path for you to get yourself back to the league?
It's the only path right now. I mean, it's the only way back is I got to go. I got a lot of stuff to prove to a lot of people, not just myself. And, I just want that opportunity to go fix a lot of things that went wrong in the past. So,
physically, you feel good about where you are?
I mean, I ain't weighed this, I guess I'll say. I've not been this light since high school, so I feel great.
What do you weigh right now?
245.
Okay. What would you have finished like in the league? What was the most when you finished there?
January 1st, I was 272.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's big. That's 27 pounds. Do you feel it out there walking around?
Well, I feel better just waking up every day, not being, a big old dude. So,
For a name recognition standpoint, if you can get on with the team here, I think it helps the league. I got this.
Well, I'd hope so. I don't know how much name recognition I got, but I mean, it'd be cool to help the league, help the team, get this thing and skyrocket it.
Is it for you? Is it a humbling thing to make the decision that you need this? That there's not going to be a call from an NFL team or anything like that?
Well, I could have told you that, in December.
Right.
Like I said, I mean, for me, it's all about getting out here and proving, what I can do and being in the best shape that I've been and just being healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, and all of that is a really, really good thing for me, especially going into something like this.
Ryan, do you feel that an XFL league that takes place in the spring, does that give you an edge or an advantage?
I think, let me think about that. Does it give you an advantage over who?
Just in general, just condition-wise.
Oh, for sure right now, yeah. I mean, because I wasn't getting ready for training camp anywhere, so it gives me a little bit more time to, go through more game speed stuff and, when training camp comes and you won't be as sore as much, you feel good. So from that aspect, yes.
When you look back on the NFL Combine, when you were here when you were training for the NFL, and now you're training similar situation for the XFL, how would you say you've changed?
I mean, I don't think we have enough time to list all the reasons, but it's a lot. It's all been positive, and I'm excited about it.
From a comfort level, you talked about Mark. How much does that help just to have somebody running things who knows you and you know him?
Well, I mean, it definitely makes you comfortable as a player to know that there's, somebody you play for, you've been in a room with before. I mean, it makes you more comfortable coming out here and just letting it loose because they kind of know what you're about. They know they've seen you before, but you still gotta come out here and prove yourself every time.
Appreciate you taking some time with us, but just a couple of questions. The first thing is we're talking about all the innovations and things like that the XFL wants to bring. What kind of innovations and kind of a plan do they have for the upcoming season that hasn't already been solidified? What kind of stuff do you guys think?
So we've looked at about a dozen changes, innovations that we think make sense, right? Basically, I think football is being played at a very high level, whether it's the NFL or major college football. But we think there are about a dozen things that we can improve on. Some of those will be obvious to fans, but then there's a few that won't be. For example, we're looking at a 25-second play clock versus the 40-second play clock, right? Get more plays. Nobody likes to see guys in the huddle. It's not that interesting. So we have a different kickoff. We've got a different style of punt. We've got an overtime that's fundamentally different, which our broadcast partners, ABC and ESPN and Fox, absolutely love. We're still testing these out because we want to make sure we're not dipping our toe in something and then all of a sudden realize there's an unintended consequence. Yeah. But we've got about a dozen things that we think are pretty cool and will improve the game. Having said all of that, when people watch a game, they'll see 11-on-11 football, 4 downs, same size field goals, all those things that they're accustomed to.
Has anything in particular that you've seen so far kind of stood out to you that, man, this is really going to work, or we need to tweak this a little bit more?
There's a bunch that I think we are playing around with redefining a forward pass, right? Because so many players, quarterbacks, are in the shotgun formation, and if they want to throw it to the wide receiver, right, who then throws a second pass, it has to be a lateral. If you're in the shotgun at 8 yards, you can't throw it a yard behind you, and have a receiver 6 yards deep, right? You might as well hold the sign. So we've redefined what we think the forward pass means. We've got a different overtime that I think is a very fair way to play, and also can get done in 6 or 7 minutes, because sometimes, as you all know, the college overtime and even the NFL overtime can go on for 25, 30 minutes. So
absolutely,
there's a handful of innovations that I really think our fans will like when we launch in February.
Very good. From a business standpoint, what kind of promotions or plans does either the league or the team have for like fan engagement and outreach? Because obviously, being a new league, attendance, as we've seen with other ones, can be a struggle. What kind of things do you guys have in plan in store for the fans of Tampa?
So what we want to do is reimagine the game experience, right? We want to be, number one, very affordable. That's part of the reimagination process, going to an NFL game. I go to one every Sunday. You can probably guess which team I root for. But it's expensive, right? And it's hard for a family of four to really enjoy it. And it's such a fun experience to go to a pro football game. We want to make sure we can, get a family of four in the building for less than $100, and concessions that are affordable, etc. We want to engage the fan and give the fan access to things that they hadn't seen before, whether that's a locker room speech or listen to what's being said in the huddle. There's all sorts of little areas where we think we can provide access to fans that they quite honestly haven't had before with the NFL or with major college ball. We plan to really reach out to fans in this area. The rationale for this entire league is there's 40 million diehard football fans out there who want more football after the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
They have a void in their life. I'm I guess sad to say I admit to being one of those. Probably you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of Floridians, because football is so important down here. So that's the group that we're really targeting. And those are folks that I think love the game and want to see the game played at a high level, and I think we can play at that level.
Okay, just two more questions. As far as like branding and team names, stuff like that, obviously we're just branding the league itself. Do you have kind of a timeline of what you expect? July?
Yeah,
okay.
So July we'll release the team names, team colors, logos, the so-called identity.
The identity, absolutely.
And I think people will love the Tampa name. It's one of my favorites.
Awesome.
I know it, but I can't tell it to you. I have to kill you. I don't want to kill you.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. I can't wait to hear it. The last one, at the end of year one, when the year one for XFL is all said and done, what would you define as a successful season for the XFL?
So I think there are really three things that really matter for us. One is playing good football, right? Playing good quality football, and getting people to watch those football games, whether it's attendance or on television. I think the second one is having really good broadcasts, right? Football is a national game in this country. We've got great broadcast partners, Fox, ESPN, ABC, that are really national. Our games will be nationally broadcast. So it's making sure that what people see really resonates with them, and they say, yeah, that's I might live in Poughkeepsie, New York, or something, or Madison, Wisconsin, but I really like this. I'll follow this league, even if I don't go to a game live. And the third one, I think, is attendance. That's still maybe the most important single factor of determining, is the league or the team a success in Tampa? How many people took the effort to buy tickets to come out and watch? That's very important. How many people connected?
Absolutely.
With the team.
Very good. I don't want to take up too much time, but I appreciate you stopping for a few minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.